Can you refurbish an old mop handle? So this question probably came up about a few weeks ago whenever I saw this old mop handle laying out beside of my house that we haven't used in probably several years because it's been broken, just been rusted up, and just been laying around. And I noticed that the mop handle itself was quite thick, so I thought, can I use this for something else? And of course, we're going to try, and this is going to probably be like a 3-part series, if you will, just for me trying this out. And so what I did is I cut the rivets out of this guy here. As you can see, they were pretty big rivets, and I just took a grinder and grinded the top part of the rivet, or the head of the rivet, off, and then knocked it out with a punch. Pretty easy stuff. Didn't take very long at all. As you can see, just a little piece of wood there. So the next step for me was to take 80 grit sandpaper and sand the entire length of the handle. Little did I know there was a better way to do it, and that is to take a plane and plane the handle and use the depth very shallowly to actually, I don't know if that's the right word, but to use the depth on this probably at the shallowest you could probably make it, and to just take off the top layer of weathering from the handle. And that worked out really good. This handle did not have any varnish on it, and I cut it into 2 pieces. One, this piece, as you see here, is for the hammer, for the little mini sledgehammer, which I think is about a 3-pounder. I don't know. We might clean up the head to it as well and make a video out of that. I'm not too sure. But this is going to be for the shovel that you see. And it brought out a lot of good coloring out of the wood. And there's some cracks and things that are not going to make any difference whatsoever. But the next 2 videos for this little series is going to be me mounting this to the shovel and mounting this to the hammer, and maybe a 4th, if you guys want to see it, of me cleaning up the head of the sledgehammer. In this video, however, I'm going to show you how to take any old regular plane and how to plane off just the top layer of any handle or any piece of wood, really, especially circular. I'm going to show you a little tip and a little trick for that to make sure that you get every bit of this wood, every inch of this surface. And the way you're going to do that is you're going to take a pencil and you're just going to draw marks. Doesn't have to be anything special. Just right around every so often. I don't know. Doesn't really matter too much. And they can be as squiggly as you want. Then you just take your plane and set it very, very shallow. Probably about right there is good. The reasoning for these lines is because, let's say we're getting this one and this one, but we're not getting the center one here. That lets us know that we're lifting up or something's going on right here to make us miss this line. And then we can adjust and make sure that we get every single line on each pass. You're just going to look and see where you're hitting, and then move over a little more, move over a little more. And then if you don't like the way that it turned out, then you can go around again, put another pencil mark around in each section, and then go around it again if you don't like the finish. And this will leave little lines on it, little tiny ridges, if you will, all the way around it. I think it feels really cool. And then you can take a bit of sandpaper and smooth that out just a little bit. You'll barely be able to notice it. And you might notice that I have wood grips on this particular vise. And I just made them out of I believe, hello, Granddaddy Longlegs scared me. I made it out of a piece of, I think that's 1x4. I know it's 1x, but I think it's 1x4. But depending, see, that's a little, that might be just a hair too much. I mean, that's coming out pretty thick, so I'm going to pull that back just a little bit. Your objective is to just take off the top layer of the wood. You're not trying to, and I pulled it back way too much. This plane, this block plane, is absolutely sensitive, as you can tell. I mean, just a hair, and I mean, I'm barely moving it. That right there was barely moving it. That's perfect. That's what you're looking for, 100%. That's it right there. Them little slivers, they are perfect. And that was about as country as they could have said that. Them little slivers. And then you just turn it and continue on about your day. And if you see any darker patches, you can also go back and hit those, because that's telling you that the weathered wood on the outside didn't quite get all the way off. But what I'm looking for is those lovely marks that I've got on here. and I'm making sure that they've all been taken off. So I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. I didn't post anything for Christmas. I do have some footage that I posted up on my personal Facebook account that was a live stream. And let's just say, unless I get better internet, I'm not doing that again. Because there was a lot of parts where I had went outside to record my nephew playing, and what had happened is it got really staticky, so definitely not going to do that again. But I might upload kind of the highlights of the family get-together and what I captured of it. Also, I'm looking to get a better camera, because right now I'm using my phone, and while that works okay, it's not the best, and I would like to get something a little bit better in quality and something that can adjust to lighting and things like that better, and auto adjust, and something that's got a little bit of manual capability. I would like something that you could change out lenses and things like that on to get better shots, but that's probably not my first camera. So this now has a very lovely feel to it, and as you can see, hopefully, it has a bit of a checkered pattern kind of deal going on, like a I don't know what you'd say, like little ridges is how I said it earlier, and it feels very, very good. This is going to be the handle for the sledgehammer, the 3-pound sledgehammer. So we just got the top part to do here. I'm not going to finish this one on camera because I'm going to try and make these 3 videos very short, probably within 5 to 6, 7 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and oil the other one. Don't know why I put that in the vise. Okay, so for the sledgehammer handle, all I got to do is finish planing it, which I'll do tomorrow. Take a little bit of 220 grit sandpaper and just lightly sand the handle down just to give it a bit of a smoother feel. I don't want those ridges quite as pronounced as they are right now, so I'll sand that down just a little bit and then I will oil it. And to oil it, I take some boiled linseed oil and you apply it to a paper towel or a rag, shop rag, whatever you want to do. And you take it and you rub the handle down. And you also want to take the oil back off, and I had to learn this the hard way. I had a mop handle that had varnish on it, and I didn't like the way that it felt, so I took the varnish off, plus the varnish was getting worn off anyways. So I went ahead and took the rest of the varnish off, oil it down with boiled linseed oil several times until it stopped accepting it. But I didn't wipe the oil back off quickly enough. And what happened is it left a bit of a sticky residue on it, so I had to just use it as is, and it kind of eventually worn off after several uses, and it just feels weird, so don't do it. It's really good to let this sit for about 10 to 15 minutes, I would say, or until it looks like it's soaked up as much as it's going to, and then wipe it back off. And you want to do this as many times as it takes for the piece of wood to finish soaking up the oil. The old timers had a bit of a schedule, if you will, to oil these. If you want me to, I can drop that down in the comments and tell you where I heard that at. But I just oil them when they start to look dry. I had to oil my mop handle, the one I actually use, probably about 7 times before it stopped soaking up the oil. And that's because I took it back down to bare wood, just how this one is, so it's probably going to take quite a few coats as well. And also you want to make sure you get the ends of your wood, the end grain, and that's just to also protect it, and so it'll soak that up as well. The only bad thing about boiled linseed oil is that it has a very, very perfumey, strong smell, and it's not the very best smelling thing in the world. It smells good in a way, but at the same time it smells bad because it's so strong. But that smell does eventually go away as you use the handle or as the wood sits, and eventually the smell just goes away from it. So that's not something that you really need to worry about too much. Also, if you want to see me fixing this head a little bit and taking some of the rust off of it, let me know down in the comments, and let me know what you want to see me do with this, because I could take it all the way and shine it if I wanted to. Probably not going to, but I could. And I believe it's about a 3-pounder. I do want to see what the brand is. I can see the lettering on it. And I also want to find where it says 3, because I know it's a 3-pounder, because I've got a 4-pounder, and that one's just a little bit lighter. Just enough to make me think it's a 3. Plus I see a spot where it could be a 3. It's definitely not an 8-pounder, so, I mean, the only other thing left is a 3. So, anyways, guys, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. It'd be much appreciated. And there will be, hopefully, 3 videos coming out in a row, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Today, for me, is Wednesday. So, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, hopefully I'm going to get all 3 of these videos done and posted. If not, it'll be next weekend whenever the next 2 come out. This one will be coming out Thursday or Friday. The one you're watching right now is either coming out Thursday or Friday. If the other 2 don't come out this weekend, it'll be next weekend, so look for those. Anyways, guys, as always, hopefully have a fantastic day, and hopefully have a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you later.